Good afternoon from New York. Today, the mystic aspect of prayer and inner mind communication, and the insanity that is trying to kill democracy, especially here in the United States. First of all, if you've been listening to videos, you know there are three role play aspects of the inner mind communication of Echo Love, and three forms of meditation. The role play between your dramatic self, your more emotional self, which I call the kid, and the inner artist in you, your connection to creative empathy, love with creativity. That role play isn't just about feelings related to needs, so on, but it's also related to your desires and what you want. And expressing what you want and having a creative response to trying to envision what that might look like if you got it and how you might get there can help you get there. It also, the more you do that, the more your mind is creatively open, the more you're going to notice the things, the opportunities that will help you to get there. The clarity of what those opportunities might rationally be would be a communication between your dramatic self, the kid in you, and your inner counselor, your objective, empathetic helper. Yeah. Anything from the past that's getting in your way would be in your experience as someone with an ego concept, your language development portion of your life, would be the communication between your feelings and feeling self, your dramatic self, the kid in you, and your inner caregiver, which is your empathetic compassion. It's using compassion in an empathetic way. And I've gone into how these things are practiced. Now, on to an important thing that's going on in some of the more capitalistic countries, and that's the only functional ones we have at this point. If they embrace democracy, that's what cures the problems of that you're going to run into with unbridled capitalism. So, what's trying to kill democracy is always the powerful trying to set up some kind of king and his or her supporters. A dictatorial situation. First sign that you're moving toward a dictatorship is the elimination of more than one party. Anything extra. No other parties, just the one. You can vote yes, and you can vote no, and that's it. An example of that might be China. And what's going on in some of the democratic countries now is a move because of anxiety. And what does that do? Anxiety about the future and the present from whatever perspective. Or, anxiety felt when change is happening too quickly in a country. When that happens, then people tend to get a mob mentality, and the intelligence of a mob, it goes down. It goes to the lowest common denominator. So I've heard, and so I think I've seen, and when that happens, then democracy tends to be threatened. Your trust in one another, your trust in the democratic, the established institutions, that begins to be questioned, and people not being actually empathetically aware begins to drop and increasingly as that democracy drops. So here's an example of how that's occurring in the United States, is that we have a person who's deeply troubled, doesn't have a great deal of empathy, and not particularly aware in any rational sense, or seemingly, unless he's just a narcissistic con man, maybe. But I think he knows he lost the election. Trump and his followers, they are a threat to democracy. And a threat to democracy, as I've explained before, is a threat to empathetic awareness in the communications within a society. Now, freedom of speech begins to be impaired. So what we're seeing now with the media, for instance, is the media just wants to be seen. I mean, they're not doing their job. They're supposed to be be giving us a creative empathy, many different perspectives on the situation. But when they're wanting viewers, in a more capitalist place where there's more than one, media, okay, which is good. But they're competing, and when that gets bad, when they just want viewers no matter what, which is not very empathetic, when they want viewers, they want a horse race when it comes to the presidential election. And you'll see them piling on to knock our current president, Joe Biden, knocking him. You take a bad performance, and they're wringing their hands, and there's nothing to fear in re-electing Joe Biden, even if he became senile. He's got a good vice president, and look at his wife. I mean, plus, he's not going senile. He's not nearly as delusional as Trump, but to point out the flaws, the lying, and the delusions, possibly, or cons of Donald Trump, doesn't give a horse race. He shouldn't be in the race. And so they're biased toward bringing up anything that might knock down Joe Biden. But it's up to the American people to wise up like the Lincoln Project has told you to do, and see this threat and vote for democracy in the next national election. That's what we need to do. So I'm going to end this. Hopefully that makes some sense to somebody. I'd like to encourage you to go to YouTube and check out the Lincoln Project, especially Rick's take on the situation with the last performance. A liar should not be seen as the winner and as the more presidential of two candidates. When the other guy's not lying, is factual, and standing up for you and your real interests. All right? BS. Check out the Lincoln Project. The saner Republicans are seeing their democracy dissolve, and they're panicking. And they should. The entire Republican Party needs to be taught a lesson this coming election, that they can't get away with that. They planted 3 justices in the Supreme Court that are absolutely giving dictatorial powers to the president. That's not very thoughtful. Have they even envisioned the fact that the next president might not be in their favor? Oh, wait a minute. They've set it up so that they alone really dictate just where the boundary lines are for the president. So you're being ruled by 3 people. And those 3 people should be ashamed, and they should resign. The only thing that I can say is it's the Congress that makes the laws. So voting for a Republican congresswoman or man is a really big mistake. Voting for anybody for Senate who's not a Democrat at this time is a huge mistake. Voting for third parties that can't possibly win and might throw the election to Trump and his empathetically unaware followers is not a good idea. So I'll always give you my blessing, and you're always a wonder in the world. So yeah, that'll be another video. Stay tuned and subscribe. And share and comment. This channel is not about me. It's about those who support empathy and awareness in communication. And test everything I have to say. And if you're brave enough to try something, you might find a world of wonder. And you are a wonder in the world. As the great physicist, the mentor of Neil deGrasse Tyson, once said, we, talking about intelligent life, no doubt, are the universe knowing itself. So, it's not about punishment, it's about healing. Just as Jesus pointed out, by the way. And here's my blessing. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain falls soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand, or her hand or its hand, however you see the source of all love. And something that's said as a goodbye and a hello that means what the great Carl Sagan, the physicist, said. I will leave you with that. Namaste.